How's it going, folks? Rob here. Welcome back to the channel on Horizon 5 for potentially the start of a new series. We'll see how it goes. So the other day I just uploaded and completed a new hill climb event that I built and designed on Event Lab Island. The plan is to do some hill climb racing, because in the real world I quite enjoy it, watching old vintage cars work their way up a mountain. It is good fun. Obviously you can get to the extremes with Pike Peak, but we're not going to be doing to that much. So this is roughly about 3Ks long. It takes about 2 minutes depending on the car. So quite right now we are in the Audi Quattro S1, the classic Group B colour. Now I was contemplating building this up to the Pike Peak specs. This is my benchmark car where all the other cars are going to have to compete against. So in game you're looking at about 470 horsepower at all-wheel drive. It's an incredibly fast car for what it is. In Pikes Peak, in the late 80s, it was estimated the power was anywhere between 750 to 1,000 horsepower. It was just a ridiculously overpowered machine, but we're just going to keep it at stock standard, set a benchmark time, and then I'm going to build up random cars and classes just to see what it is and see what they can do up here. So obviously there's going to be multiple classes. I'm not going to go by the PI scale because that can be a bit iffy, so I'm going to try, just for instance, example, front-wheel drive cars. I've got 2 or 3 classes for front-wheel drive cars. So the big one's going to be 350 horsepower. These are going to be like your Focus RXs, Civics, those sort of things. And they're going to be around 350 horsepower. Trying to get the weights around the same. Going to give them a bass tune and then just throw them up and down this mountain and set times and see what they like to drive. But that is the event, and this is the benchmark car. All right, so we're here on Event Lab Island. The Audi Quattro did a 144.8 up that mountain. Obviously, we're going to start with what this little car on screen, the Vauxhall Corsa VXR. Obviously, it's not going to compete with it. There's going to be some rules in this series. This is a front-wheel drive car. Can't change the drivetrain. There's going to be upgrades I've got to do to every single car. Trying to get the weight as close as possible is quite tricky in this game, because one thing I love about Gran Turismo is you can add ballast and take away weight, add weight wherever you want. It's fantastic. You control the power output better. So getting these cars to the same power and same weight is not the easiest thing to do. There's a lot of back and forth between different parts in the auto show. But the plan is, this is going to be the top tier of my front-wheel drive car. So 350 horsepower, we're looking at around 1,300 kilos. It's going to fluctuate, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. And then we're going to have another front-wheel drive class, which is probably going to be around the 200, 250. These are going to be for more of the older 60s, 70s, little tiny hatchbacks. But yeah, we're going to go take the Astra up the mountain now, see what it can do stock standard. It's going to be a lot slower than the Quattro. But we've got to start somewhere. I thought about starting with a classic car. I could have done another Audi Quattro and built the regular one up, but we'll go with this one. Already understeering, it's front-wheel drive. So yeah, any front-wheel drive cars have to stay front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, and all-wheel drive. You get the idea. No engine swaps unless it's a really old car and it needs it and it can't get up to the... Oh, there's a wall there. I built this, I should remember. This isn't to set a blistering time. It's just to get an idea what the car is like. So let's take that a little bit wider. There's a checkpoint bridge, which is probably could have been moved across a little bit, but we're making it so far so good. Now, I've done a few testing drives with D-Class cars, and later on you saw the really steep climb at the end of the track. The Audi got up quite easily. Some D-Class cars can't even get halfway up that. So this is a C-Class car. This will get up there no problem. I haven't had a C-Class car in testing not make it to the top. They don't go up quickly. They just slow down. That is a tricky corner because you're coming up the hill and there's a little bit of a jump with the way that these track sections connect. Watch the understeer. As you can see on some of these corners, I have widened the track for obvious reasons. Especially testing hypercars, you need as much space as possible to avoid going off the track. Into the mini corkscrew, an understeer killer. This car, front-wheel drive cars do not like this corner because of the camber in the track. It is slightly angled, and yeah, front-wheel drive, especially, and also old muscle cars, especially don't like that area. Oh, the track's just gone completely nuts. This is another track corner that really brings on understeer because it is uphill and is slightly cambered. We're almost at the end. We've got a quick decrease down here, picking up a lot of speed and momentum, really test out the brakes. This section was built purely to slow the cars down for this next section. That was a bad gear change as we work our way up the really steep incline. is just a little bit struggling compared to the Howdy, which did a 144. We're looking at a 215 maybe. Through the last chicane, across the line, 209. Okay, well, there's no way in hell this is going to get anywhere near 144, but if we can get it down to the low 50s maybe, let's see what we can do with some upgrades. All right, I finally finished building up the Vauxhall Corsa. It's got 351 horsepower, weighs 1,311 kilos. Couldn't get it exactly to 1,300, but it's close enough. Done a couple of test laps up and down here and on various other tracks, and understeer is a problem because it's a tiny little hatchback. 350 horsepower is quite a lot for a little car this size, so hopefully I can manage it. As you can see, it's got aero, it's got every race part and every adjustable part is installed. I have, as you can see, it's got the roll cages. Oh, that's run a bit wide, purely because it's a race car and it needs the roll cages. Doesn't provide much benefit compared to just the regular anti-roll bars and chassis stiffness, but they're on there because of the look. So we work our way up here. Careful of the power. We don't want to understeer into that bridge. Glad I'm wide on these tracks. Originally, it wasn't that wide on the corners, but after testing certain cars, I had to make it wider because I was constantly going off. We actually did that last part pretty good. Coming into the fastest corner of the track, flat out. Even hypercars, you usually can take that flat out as you work your way up through the checkpoint, coming up to the halfway mark. Hard on the brakes just about here. We've got a little bit of air time there, which is a pain in the butt. It's one of the hardest corners on this track. Through the switchbacks as we hit the 50% marker. Understeer is a pain in the butt in some of these corners. That could have been done a lot better. I lost a bit of time through there. It's just got to get the balance with the throttle because the understeer can send this car flying off in directions you don't want to go. Through the mini corkscrew. A lot of camber on this corner, as you can see. Understeer with the front wheel drive is really bad. A lot of wheel spin through there. Let's try and ease it and let it roll through the corners. The track has gone crazy. The fences have gone all over the place. One of the hardest corners for a front wheel drive car is that last one because of the angles. All right, going to work our way down the mountain now, flat out. Got to really test the brakes. I do have the racing line on because I'm still learning the track. Even though I built it, that could have been done a lot better. Yeah, the braking line is on just while I'm getting used to it because I'm overshooting some of these corners, especially with a car with this much power. Through the chicane, ease it through. 155. We can do better than that. Let me run it without talking, and then we'll compare the time. Just went again. We've got a 153.4, so I took over 2 seconds off. I reckon there's a lot more time I could make up, but that is it. That is my hill climb event. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, the share code is down below. I'm going to be bringing random cars here, old cars, new cars, supercars, muscle cars. I'm just going to throw them up and down here and hopefully have some bit of fun along the way. I love my hill climb racing, and the map on Horizon 5 is pretty bad for hill climb events. So I made my own one. Yep, there's a share code. Go for it. Enjoy. That is the Astro. It was a lot of fun to drive. I think the tune, which I just threw a bass tune on, if I can really get to work, especially getting that understeer under control, this will be easy, able to save a lot of time. But yeah, that is it. Next episode, I'll show the building process. This one's going to be a little bit longer because we had the Audi going first. But yeah, we're going to start a hill climb series. Till then, I'm Rob. Cheers for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Later.